Hello everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. So we're coming into a rough week. So normally, this week with the Jewish holiday coming to an end, usually uh, a lot of people look to be buying right now. But coming into the possible government shutdown by the end of the week is definitely going to put a monkey wrench in all that. So let's see what Congress and the Senate and the House wants to do. Throughout the week, I do believe they got till the following Monday, so we know they're going to take it down to the wire. We're going to be hearing a lot of stuff coming in this week, different comments from both sides. As for data this week, the calendar, we do have consumer confidence on Tuesday. We have durable good orders on Wednesday. We have GDP on Friday or Thursday, and on Friday we have PCE. Chicago PMI, we have retail inventories and wholesale inventories as well. We do have a few Fed speakers this weekend or throughout this week. So we also have a couple names reporting earnings. There is Costco's tomorrow, and then we have Nike on Friday. BlackBerry's in there too, I believe, on Friday as well. So I know football, and a lot of people have been watching football most of the day and are probably pretty tired. So we're going to try to run through this and talk about the charts and talk about things as we go. So we can see our put to call ratio has spiked higher at 116 in the bearish zone. Our oscillators are trying to move lower, negative 194 on the NASDAQ, and for the New York Stock Exchange, negative 139. Still plenty of room to move in either direction. Getting warm, but we still got plenty of room to move. So on the SPX, we definitely lost our 20. You can see it looks like a lower low right there. So will we bounce, try to go up and put in a lower high? So we could do it's hard to say with the holiday being over. We're expecting to see some buying come in, but with the government shutdown, we'll see. We're extended far enough down that you definitely would think that there will be possible to see some dip buyers coming in. Breath, we did move lower last week. Wasn't as bad of a close on Friday, back to negative 141. We were down to negative 2,000 on Thursday, so it's a little bit of help there, but not much. The dollar still holding strong, and this is one thing that puts pressure on the market. The dollar is over 100, and it does look like it wants to go higher here, and has been exactly what we've been expecting. The market, the dollar, everything's been doing exactly what we've been expecting. It's not been the easiest to trade, and we'll take a look at the SPY chart when we get there, and we'll explain why it's not been the easiest to trade. So you can see the VIX here. The VIX has been spiking. We had tracking that last week. Big move here. We do have a little bit of a bearish candle here on Friday, but you can see that the buyers were able to take that candle back at the end of the day. So it's not a super bearish candle there. I'd almost call that bullish. If you need follow through, we got that 200 up there if they want to push the market. Coming into tomorrow, we gap up on the first trading day of every week, so the VIX is most likely going to gap up tomorrow. Crude here, trying to push back up off the 9, see what we do. Got a little flag break there, see if we can get crude to push. If crude pushes, we're going to keep an eye on energy. We're going to look at the XLE chart as well. We're going to talk about that when we get there. Apple, we do have some support here. You can see this area. If we break below, I would watch this. You can draw a little box from this wick here, draw it on over, cover that, draw that little zone out. Like it better below that if you're looking for a trending trade. Of course, if you're looking for scalps, you can, trade through it. You can see the CFM, some money cut coming out there, and the MACD is bearish. Chart does not look very good. You see the intraday chart trying to move lower on Friday. Gold is struggling here. We had this head and shoulders we're trying to break down out of, come back, and a nice move higher here, and it looked like it wanted to break lower on Thursday. Friday tried to push back up. Advanced decline lines, all turned down. Small caps are leading down. AMC struggling down here. AMD on the 15. So you can see weakness on Friday. We tried to push at the open. It's exactly what we were expecting. We had gapped up, so we expected a pullback. We talked about this before market open, and then after market open, we've seen signs of a reversal on the pullback. So we were looking for a move right back up after a dip down. So that actually worked out pretty good. Then we ended up giving it back going into the midday. So pretty good moves on Friday with a lot of our stocks that we watch. Uh, Amazon, see we got that gap above us. Watch that 50-day. ARK, we got a gap above us here. Watch your 200-day. We have broken below that. Nice strong bearish engulfing candle on Friday. See if we get follow through on that candle. AMD, little bearish harami down here. Watch this 200 for support. And we have broken to the downside of that falling wedge there. Amazon intraday, you can see the move down at the end of or about midday after some choppiness on the way up. Amazon on the weekly, this closed below that weekly 20, so that's getting a little concerning there. We're not only are we losing daily moving averages, we are losing weekly moving averages as well. So we got Apple here on the weekly. You can see we're looking for a close below, at least a candle to get below, a weekly candle to close below. Could take the whole week. We can definitely get some shorter term trades, but we need to be below that level of support. We look at that on the daily. Boeing getting a large move down off this lower high. So Boeing showing a lot of weakness there. Bitcoin breaking back down. Still looking for confirmation on this evening star. See where today's candle closes. We're trying to dip down. That could confirm that evening star. That may be a sign for a move lower. Watch your 20-day there for a possible bounce. And TNX. So TNX this is a very more like a decade high. So we looked at this last week. Looked at either a cup and a handle was put in, or possible double top. We wanted to see if we had rejection. We were close at the time. We had not actually at the time. I do believe we did have a close above our resistance there and pushing higher. So that's putting pressure on the market as well. And it's kind of the same stuff we've been expecting. We've been seeing things deteriorate a little bit with the economy. XLC, this is showing some weakness here, possible lower high. Well, it definitely is not possible. It definitely is a lower high. See where this low, if we can put in a lower low. That's coming from Facebook starting to show weakness, and Google as well is also in that sector. XLP, consumer staples, were breaking lower there. DraftKings, you got a lower high here as well. See where we're putting in a low. When you put in a lower high, you can expect to put in a lower low. You got to take out your pivot point here for that move down. So let's see what we get with this one. Right now, if we can get some follow through, your pivot point down there is your first target. Lilly also breaking down here as well. ExxonMobil is also breaking down. Still looks decent. We could possibly putting in a handle for a move higher. I would be a little concerned about this, the way it wants to pull back. It's got a lot to do with whether crude's going to bounce off that 9 or not. Google, you see Google breaking down under that daily 50 there. And Home Depot breaking down to that 200 on the daily. And a weekly. Watch your 50 weekly. We got this trend line running through here where we broke out of our bottom ascending triangle. We're also losing our MACD there. IWM intraday, pretty choppy on Friday, but we were able to get a move down. And we had that one on the radar. Provided some decent moves. The Qs breaking lower. Once again we got the lower high here. We want to watch this pivot point, see how we handle it. You could also get your head and shoulders pattern out of that as well. It's not as nice, but it's there. The Qs here, you also got shoulder, head, shoulder right there. So see what we do tomorrow, and that's that's including some pre-market levels, but just see what we do. It's a good chance we could possibly see a bounce as far down as we are. It is Monday, so as I am every Monday, I'm expecting the VIX to gap up, and I'm expecting a choppy market. So the Q's trying to break lower here. JP Morgan, you can see JP Morgan's also showing some weakness. Very double topish. It looks like it did push up and barely put in a higher high there. We need to see where this is going. Will this come down and put in a lower low, or will it put in a higher low and try to push higher? Definitely want to keep an eye on the banks this week, because it's a big part of the IWM and it provides opportunities. Merck still trading in this head and shoulders, still trading sideways, probably getting ready to take this chart down. Meta, we just flew by that. Let's go back to Meta real quick. Meta, you can see Meta here struggling, breaking down below your major moving averages, still holding in better than a lot of these other charts. And, Meta may be setting up for a move down to try to catch up with them. We'll see what Meta does this week. You see it trending lower there. Microsoft breaking down. Watch this pivot point down here. See if we get support. This little small, it's not a hammer candle, but this very hammer-ish candle. We push back up. See if we hold that area for support. If we lose that, look for a move down. You can see the volume profile lightening up down there. So not as much support down here. Microsoft intraday, you can see the move down. Microsoft, this is the weekly, so we got a lower high where we put in a lower low. Bands look like they're tubing. This MACD is bearish there. NVIDIA is also breaking lower. We want to watch that pivot point. If we can bounce off that pivot point, so definitely a level of support there. And there was a bullish engulfing candle off of that point there as well. So that's confirming support at that level. We definitely need to keep an eye on that. Once again, volume profile is lightening up if we do continue lower. There's also a big gap down there on the video if they really want to take it lower. In the video, you can also see this is the 15-minute time frame. You can also see the head, shoulders type pattern there. We want to keep an eye on these names tomorrow, and of course we will, breaking down below our weekly moving average as well, close below the 20 there. A NASDAQ coming down, almost ready to test that pivot point. You can see the head, shoulder there. I got this trend line above us if it does want to go. Do have the support level. Once again, volume profile lightening up down there, showing there's not a lot of support down there. So, I mean, there's support there, but it's not, great. Netflix breaking down. Some news out on the writer's strike. See where that's heading this week as well. So we got the Netflix, WBD, Disney. See what Paramount. See what these streaming services want to do with the strikes. See how they act. The Qs monthly pulling back. We've been talking for 3 months. We're probably getting ready to put in a handle, and we've been putting in a handle the last 2 months to see where we end up closing there. The SPX looks like we are breaking down below that pivot point, showing more weakness there. SM8 showing some weakness here, going back to the China chip news. So just a reminder, that was 2 weeks ago that news come in, so that was that candle, and we've been moving lower there ever since. Also been seeing the market deteriorating as well, so we're not sure how much it has to do with chip news and just moving with the markets. The diamond breaking lower out of this head and shoulders pattern, so we have one there as well. The SPY weekly, you can see a strong close down here. Can we bounce? Last time we put in our low, we bounced back up. We put in a low, will we bounce back up to put in a lower high for the next move down? Or will we see follow through and continued straight down with this government shutdown looming? SPY monthly, same here, a little cup, putting in a handle, same thing we've been expecting. And you can see the SPY chart, once again, breaking below that pivot point already. So this head and shoulders here is definitely not perfect, but it has triggered as well. So volume profile lightening up here. Definitely can move lower if it wants to go lower. We did lose that candle line there for support on Friday as well. See what happens. We do have this gap above us. There's definitely a possibility that we could try to bounce going in tomorrow. Just be careful and let's play the action, see what they give us this week. It's going to be a tricky week. We can't predict a direction going into a possible government shutdown. We never really predict a direction, but we definitely can't with all this stuff going on right now. Jewish holiday coming to an end. That's supposed to be bullish. Government shutdown supposed to be bearish. And, speakers are going to be out pumping everything that they can. Fed speakers. You see SPY intraday chart just to provide some really nice action on Friday. Not the greatest range, but there was some decent trade there. Square has been breaking lower. It's one we've been keeping an eye on. Tesla, you see this H cell pattern on the 15. After that, big break lower there. XLK, another one. Watch this pivot point. We have not quite made it down to that down there yet. We do have a hole down here in our volume profile again, so we can move lower if the market wants to move lower. Tesla on the weekly lower high. Watch that weekly 20. We break below that weekly 20. We can start to look for a move down. These bands look like they want to pinch in. Just look like it's gearing up for a move. Tesla on the daily, breaking lower here as well. You got room to move between here and that pivot point. Just want to point that out. So you got room to move down if that's where it wants to go. It's your target. Uber trying to break lower here. Watch this area here. Same thing. See if I find support at that pivot. Walmart. So Walmart's been breaking down after that large volume candle that day. Still trying here. You know, we did have a high close candle on Friday, but nothing there to brag about. You know, better than nothing. You know, it's better than seeing follow through to the downside. But we are breaking down there. We got this 50-day. We did close underneath the 9 and 20 on the daily. XLE, this is the energy sector. So this is the only sector that is still holding the 50-day. The rest of the sectors have lost the 50-day. So let's keep an eye on energy, see how we act with crude, if we can bounce off of that 9, get that little flag play. We've already kind of got the flag break there. Like to see a little cleaner action than that, but definitely keep an eye on energy this week. The banks, you can see the banks breaking down. Looks like we lost this daily 200. We do have this pivot point down here as well, so we're going to watch that for support. TLT, green day on Friday. You can see this little gap up, and they tried to buy them up on Friday, so that's a good sign. Big gap there to fill. IWM, this is IWM weekly. You can see the little shoulder, head, shoulder there breaking down on the weekly time frame. It's really small. It's a pattern. It's there. You can see us breaking down, and on the daily, you can clearly see that breaking down. You know, a little gap down there as well, heading lower. So we definitely want to keep a really close eye on our market, keep a really close eye on our news feeds and our squawks, and see what we can see what we hear with the government shutdown. And those comments coming out from our political officials will be providing opportunities throughout the week, and hopefully we'll see some opportunities through our Fed speakers and their data, and maybe even some earnings plays as well. Costco's and Nike may decide to make some runs for us. So we'll see what we get. Let's play the action this week. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you in the trading room.